And as I wind up, I think I promised the people of Zambia a slight analysis of a matter that to be actualized practically, and this has to do with the national anthem. So many people called me that they have not thought about this, but I've said it before on another platform. This should be a matter of concern. And I must mention that there is also an act that brought into being, which is the Zambia National Anthem Act, okay, which brought into being the national anthem that we are using. In any case, if we could be helped by our technicians, that man, Enoch Mankai Sontonga, is the man who composed, he's a South African by the way, the national anthem in 1897, long before Zambia was born. Okay? Now, this comes from a very interesting background of an anthem composed in Nkosi Sikelel' iAfrika, meaning Lord bless Africa, in 1987. Now, when you look at this South African, he did his homework, beautiful lyrics, and of course all the sounds and everything. Now, what is very interesting is that this national anthem that we are using was not just adopted like that. It is important that it followed the passing of the Zambia Independence Act in 1964 in the Parliament of the United Kingdom. Okay, enacted Zambia's independence from the United Kingdom. Nkosi Sikelel' was adopted as the national anthem of Zambia, replacing God Save the Queen, the anthem of Northern Rhodesia. Before that, we are using the anthem of Northern Rhodesia. So that must be made very clear. And also what is interesting is that this particular national anthem has certain stanzas, and many a time we've not talked about certain individuals that are behind this. Okay, before I get to the issues which have to do with the reason for amendments. Okay, it's important for me to give this slight background and then wind up. I must mention that in 1973, okay, 9 years after we used Nkosi Sikelel' iAfrika, okay, Lord bless Africa, we used this anthem composed by Enoch for about 9 years. Now, 9 years after independence, we are now getting into coming up with our own words that can fit this country. So, what the government did, they had to open for a competition. There were so many people that started competing. They are sending entries in order to do. They were composers in a way. They composed different stanzas. Unfortunately, none of them, these entries were good enough to be adopted. So what government did, they had to combine the entries. They picked about 6 of them and combined them. When they combined them, this is where the Stand and Sing of Zambia Proud and Free was adopted. A combination by different, I would call them authors or composers or artists. There are 6 of them. And we don't talk about this history. Nobody is going to write our history. As much as this is written, it is only you and me to talk about our history. So that a child who is just born to be taught how to sing the national anthem should know where it is coming from. We had Gabriel Ellis as one of them who made the entry. It was a competition which was opened. We had E.S. Musonda, a Zambian, who made an entry. We had James S. Lichilana, who made an entry. We had I. Lowy, who made an entry. We have also Sajiwandani J, who made an entry. And finally, we had RJCU, who made an entry. So government had to combine these entries. And then, in the same year, an act, the Zambia National Anthem Act, okay, the National Anthem Act was enacted to clearly define the lyrics and later on adopt the national anthem. And this is the one we are using. Isn't that interesting? I think this is something that we can talk about. But let me bring out one very important. Let's go back to the national anthem. I think that gives us a brief, the technical team can help us with the national anthem there. So that I just deal with the 2 issues that I want amended. Now, I know that this same national anthem criminalized. It made it an offense to insult or bring into contempt or ridicule the national anthem. This same act. So since it's an act of parliament, Article 62 of the Constitution of Zambia gives parliament legislative powers to amend and to make laws, to legislate. So this is not immune to amendments. That's my proposal. So I'm trying to get some cooperating partners as I push for this agenda, including this NGOCC, among others. This is what they should understand. Look at the second stanza. Africa is our motherland, fashioned with the blessed by God's good hand. Let us all her people join as one, brothers under the sun. Why brothers? These are things that should be amended. It's understood that these are coming, it was made or enacted at a time when many of these gender education related issues were not yet adopted and perhaps later on domesticated. Now, if you go down slightly, there, again, there you are. It is in the chorus. Praise be to God. Praise be to our, to God. Blessed thou great nation. Zambia, Zambia, free men we stand. You see, this is discriminatory. You can't have a gender policy, and then when you tell everybody to sing in the country, they are singing something else. This is an abomination. Now, let me come back by ending that. This is clear. We don't need to debate. If government has never thought about this, they must start thinking about this. This should be amended. There is an act. It's not criminal to amend it. In the first place, the other first government under UNIP had to subject this national anthem to a national competition, and there were entries. So we can do it again. I end my analysis here.
Thank you very much, Mark, for your analysis
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Thank you.